Hello again everyone, King Blacktooth here again with some more real Gwent. Now this is the first time I think you'll have seen Skellige pitched against a real Gwent opponent. We've had some preliminary matches because my friend Gareth wasn't aware of what they do, but he's fully aware of what Skellige do now. And one thing I can really say is Skellige, I'm not sure where they sit in tiers. They are my favourite deck. I feel like they've got a lot of strategy, interesting strategy, revolving around their leader cards, this one in particular, and their deck ability. And one thing that we've sort of figured out in the preliminaries with Skellige versus whoever is that Skellige really want to win the first round. It's very important for Skellige to try and win that first round, even if you have to use all your cards but two, and we'll come on to that later. So I've got a couple of decoys, which is good because I'm fighting Northern Realms and he's probably going to have a lot of spies, and I really wanted war longships. Two of them is great, or Clan and Crate, they're good bonded ability too. That will come very useful into the strategy of the whole Skellige strategy in round 2. So Skellige, I don't know where to place them in tiers, but they are like monsters and Scoia'tael, where they only actually have neutral spy available to them. They have no spies of their own. So that's why it's so important to take the decoys when you're fighting people, in case they spy. And there's a couple of other cool things you can do with decoys as well. So I'm placing down the maidens. Again, should be really good if I do manage to spy out and draw Ceres later, because you can actually double play the shield maidens, but she's useless, so I thought I'd place her down first. So we're just doing the normal Gwent thing where we try and bump each other's strength up a little bit at a time. Villain Threat and Mirth, you only need to be over 10 strength, or 10 strength or more in order to be able to Scorch. And so we got a Commander's Horned 4 to 8 and is 2, so that is 10. It's quite an early play there really, but out of the cards I had I didn't want to play anything bigger. Might be able to decoy him up is my thought. If something comes out really... okay. So that really screwed my idea up there. I can no longer decoy Villain Threat and Mirth up, and I haven't got any medics, so that really screwed that idea. That was an issue really. So Skellige have a special card specific to them, which is Mardroim. I'm not actually sure if it's specific to them, but it's only useful to them, so no other class, no other deck would ever take it. But it triggers transformation on all berserkers on that row. I actually have no berserkers, so that's why I placed that hero guy down now. At the time of play, I didn't actually know it was retroactive, but apparently it is. I can place him down and place a berserker later, and it will change the berserker instantly. I didn't know that, so that's interesting, good to know. So I used my first decoy on the spy, so he's actually got quite a high card advantage there. And here we can see what I have in my hand. See, not many cards. I want those 2 war longships for round 2, but I'm able to do the spy. Is it Prince Stannis? You're going to be seeing him a lot. He's going to get passed around so much in this game. It is crazy how much he gets passed around. He's like the village prostitute or something. He's crazy. So I've got a young Berserker and another Scorch, so I've got like another 2 Scorches, which is really good. I don't think I've got any big combos apart from War Longships, but they're not getting played this particular game. So, as I mentioned earlier, Skellige really wants to win the first round. Okay, because then I can play some cards on the second round, pass at ease, and then guarantee which cards I'm going to get on round 3 with their deck ability. However, my opponent really wants to win the first round, because then he doesn't have to... If my opponent wins the first round, he doesn't theoretically have to ever get to round 3. So that's his plan. His plan is to never ever allow me to get to round 3, because if he wins round 1, he'll place everything he's got to win round 2. And there you go. So the Young Berserker should have retroactively changed there to 8 strength. It wouldn't have really changed the outcome of the game because, as you can see, I'm far behind in strength. So that was a mistake, but one that doesn't affect the game really. So yeah, the Skellige deck ability. On round 3, 2 cards are randomly drawn out of my graveyard and placed back onto the field. They have to be non-hero unit cards. So this is a really good ability, and you're going to see some strategy with the war longships and that deck ability. But that's the thing, you see, it's on round 3 only. So if my opponent wins the first round, he doesn't want to get to round 3 at all. He will spend all his cards on round 1 and 2, and so he's more likely to win because he's going to get a free card with his own deck ability if he wins. So it's a really big struggle. That's why you can see this round 1 is going to go on for a long time. We're pretty much going to use all our cards to try and win this round 1. And I think that's indicative of the Skellige deck. And there we go. Prince Stannis is he's getting passed around again. Nice. Again, if you look at the card advantage my opponent has, 7-4, it's not looking good. But I have another decoy, so he's getting passed around a little bit more. He's what does that make him? A double agent so far? Very nice. Okay, so my 4 cards, 2 war longships. I cannot play them this turn. It is pretty imperative to my whole long-term strategy. I can't play those. Scorch and Prince Stannis. The Scorch is a bit of a troublesome one. The villain Tretton Murph is 14 strength and is really guarding everything else. He had a lot of 5s on the board at the minute. They'll get buffed to 10, but I can't take them down because villain Tretton Murph. Now we've got an Olaf and a cow. The cow is going to be an obvious choice to play, so you're going to see that one coming next. The cow is excellent with Skellige. You may think, oh, that's not too great because it might ruin what cards I get, but the Bovine Defense Force has a special ability, and I'll talk about that later. So we're just calculating the strength. He is won by 20 so far. Obvious play there. I definitely want more strength round 2, even though I plan on passing. It's still worthwhile because then he's got to spend more to beat it, and it's going to waste a turn. It throws the ball back into his ball pit, so to speak. And regarding the cow, it's a card with Skellige that you must place on turn 1. You do not want to place a cow on turn 2 if you can help it, because you do not want to ever risk that it gets pulled out of your discard pile, your graveyard, on turn 3 due to your deck ability. He's getting passed around again. Double agent so far. So card advantage is looking pretty even now. However, he's still got a spy to play that we know of. Yeah, so it was unfortunate. There was a lot of cards at certain places where it would have been great, but that villain Tretton Murph was really protecting everyone, and that's unfortunate. So my opponent has the leader ability where it gets rid of my ranged row, so it would get rid of the 2 strength berserker, which should be 8 strength. Okay, so card advantage is looking a lot more one-sided now, 6-3. Now, on this particular section, I had a huge choice. There's no chance I'm playing the war longships. It's part of the overall strategy of Skellige to know what 2 cards you want, and the 2 cards are a bonded 24 strength, so we definitely want those. The question is, on round 3 we get 2 random cards. Now, Olaf is a very strong card. And we shuffle all our cards into our deck, so we make sure we know what 2 cards we're going to get on round 3 as well, which are going to be the war longships. But the choice is, do I place Olaf down now, or do I save him for round 3? Because then he's going to be really, really, really good. Because 12 strength plus morale boost, that's a lot. The thing is, I haven't seen my opponent play a Scorch at all. So this, I think I took about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to make this choice. In the new Witcher Gwent game, there's a timer and that's going to be an issue. So I do place him down in the end because I've never seen a Scorch. And if he Scorches in round 3, I've absolutely lost. So that was a really tough decision for me. And I'm waiting to see whether it comes to fruition. I think a 12 strength unit would be enough to bait out a Scorch because it buffs the entire row as well. So it really gives me a lot. So, I mean, I didn't really want the strength now, but I'm only placing him down just to bait a Scorch. And we'll see if it works. But like I said, it took me a minute and a half to make that choice. Really, I shorted these down a lot, these games. And there it is, a Scorch. So that was a perfect play for me, and I was really happy about that. And then I pass because I've only got 2 cards left, which is fine. So I didn't win round 1, and everything else is pretty inevitable now. But we both battled in round 1 as much as we could because I really wanted to win it, and he really doesn't want me to get to round 3. And I really like that kind of play. It really changes the way the game's played a little bit, forcing a lot more aggressive play from both sides, which is really interesting. Which is fine. I've got a good combo for next turn. Even if you lose round 1, by making the opponent play so many cards, hopefully they don't have a good combo for the round 2 and 3, you know? Well, I've got a good combo for 2 and 3 now, with only 2 cards. And we get the Bovine Defense Force. So, because Northern Realms won, they get to draw a card, which is really annoying. They're on 5-2 card advantage. And I've actually only seen 1 spy, and it's Prince Stennis. So he's got 2. Actually, there was the neutral Avalanche spy at the beginning. So he's got 2 extra cards which could be spies. So that's really dangerous. So the first thing I'm going to do, there's a new spy. Okay, wow, 6 card advantage to 2. So that's my leader ability. I'm going to use it immediately in round 2. It's best to use it. That's where you want to win, so they don't get a chance to medic anything out. So you really want to win so that you get the first choice to do something. And what you do is you shuffle all unit cards back into the deck that are non-hero. So basically everything that's playable from Medic, you put back into your deck. Now it does say shuffle all cards, but in the actual Witcher 3 Gwent game, it just shuffles cards which could be mediced out. Special cards and hero cards stay there. And what this does now is I've got no cards in my graveyard whatsoever now that are playable. So when turn 3 comes on and I get 2 cards played out of my graveyard, it hasn't got any to choose from at the moment. So what I'm allowed to do is place my 2 war longships, and they're guaranteed to go into my graveyard and guaranteed to get pulled out. That's the strategy, and it's a really good one because it's 24 strength they are because they're bonded. The problem is he's placed a spy on my side, so that goes into my graveyard now. So I could get the spy come out and 1 war longship, which is really detrimental to the overall strength that I was going to get out. If the spy does come out, however, it's pretty good still because it does play and I still get the 2 card draw. So it's not a bad thing. I'm not sure what would be good. Now the Bovine Defense Force there, when it's scorched or removed, it doesn't go into the graveyard. It just gets removed from play altogether. So even though what I said earlier, when the cow is so good for Skellige in this sort of thing, you think it might muck up this sort of idea, but it doesn't because it gets removed and doesn't go into the graveyard. So there's no chance of pulling that out. 8 strength is good, but it's not as good as 12 strength bonded war longships. So we got the spy. So everything goes into the graveyard, and then we pull randomly 2 cards out. So we got the spy, and I realised afterwards that of course we were going to get a war longship as well. So we're not going to get the bonded ability of 24 strength, but we do get 2 card draw, which is still pretty decent. And we managed to get 2 Clan and Crate units, which is exactly the same as the War Longship. They are melee versions of the War Longship. 6 strength, bonded abilities, which is really good. I do notice none of my units are actually ranged, so he still can't use his leader ability, so that was a waste. So we're coming up to the end of the game now. I've got 1 other card to play, which is a second Clan and Crate. So they're bonded to 24 strength. You see how Scorch would have been absolutely decimated me here. Because I thought I'd only actually have 2 cards that bonded. If he had that Scorch still, I would have completely lost. I would have nothing. So, really good play with the Olaf, I think. And so he's getting a lot of cards. He had like a 5-card advantage there. And at this point, when he decoyed up that spy, I basically accused him of cheating. I don't know how many decoys were played, but I checked his discard pile for 4 decoys. But he only had 2 in there, so this was a legitimate. He actually had 3 decoys. Oh my god, he's still drawing cards. He must have had like a 6-card advantage. Commander's Horn would screw me over. Any sort of 10 strength hero, 15 strength would screw me over. Scorch would screw me over. But he doesn't manage it. He doesn't quite get enough. And he had a clear weather as well. I did notice I didn't get any Skellige storms. So there we go, guys. There's the episode of Real Gwent number 14 with Skellige. I think that was really good. Really difficult. So many spies. Such a card advantage against me. And we still managed to pull it out. I'm really happy about that one. It really shows you just how good Skellige can be. But look at that. The next card he had in his deck was was a spy. Oh my god. We just had to check. The next card on top of his deck was a spy. So if he'd have pulled that card out with his other spy, I would have lost. Oh, and I got Ceres there. On the top of my deck is Ceres and a Shield Maiden. So very interesting game. I hope you enjoyed that. Skellige wins. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for more Gwent content. Thanks for watching.